Hello everybody, this is the weekly psychic forecast predictions and blurb for the week of 29th of January to the 4th of Feb 2018. Yes, we are going into a new month this week, and what have we got with it? This fabulous super lunar eclipse, blue moon, red moon, blood moon, amazing rare event is happening on Wednesday, and I will be talking about that during these forecasts in better detail for you, to give you more insight, a little bit of guidance. Hello to everybody who is constantly tuning in to my channel, and thank you for all your wonderful support and feedback, and hello to anyone new out there. Welcome. Hopefully you'll stay and you'll be back again for more. If you do enjoy this vlog, then feel free to share it with all your friends and your family and anyone else you know. And please remember to subscribe at the end of the video. Now, if you would like a private reading or some more personal detail about your situation, do go to the website. The details are in the description box below. Lots of other links in there as well. It's www.saraperrypsychic.co.uk. If you have any issues at all, you can email me direct. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, various places, if you need to get a message to me in some format. Also check out the new app Instant Go. There's a link there for it. It's for iPhone and iPad at the moment, and it will be expanding to other smartphone, Android, later on in the year. It is a new app, and it does allow you to pay as you talk, similar to the phone lines, if you were to link into those. So if that's something you would prefer to do rather than pay up front for a reading, then that's okay as well. So do check that out, because it gives you all the details once you do as well. It's relatively simple. You can also ask a very quick question, and it is slightly less amount than the Ask the Oracle option on the website. But just so you know, the price does reflect how much information you get, okay? Because the quick questions or the Ask the Oracle options that I do, you do get quite a lot of detail. And obviously the more you pay, the more information you get. So these are very, quick questions on that site. Anyway, moving on. This is a very important week this week, because on the 31st we have the big event, the rare blue full super moon, blood moon they're calling it now. So I mean, that's sort of blue and red maybe. Eclipse. Anything else? It's very special, because there's been 2 full moons this month as well. So if you want to get manifesting, I think really that's the day to do it. I'm going to be doing my own little things, my little celebrations. You might see something live. You never know. I just watch this space, especially if you're on Facebook. Sometimes I'm unable to connect as well live on YouTube. But we'll do my best to try and do whatever I'm doing, broadcast it on both. But yeah, do connect with me on Facebook if you can, because you can, obviously see a lot of other things, written blurbs as well that I do, and any other information about things. So what have we got? So we've got this great week. Now, this is full moons are the best time to release. All right, so if you've got something big to release, you really want to let go of it, then I would suggest you do it. Okay. How do you do that? Lots of ways. You can just write it down, write a little note to the universe, put it out there, and you can do little rituals as well. Like I say, it's quite magical, this energy. So I would seriously, make it, if you can, do some, make it, the ambience right and everything, and have a nice evening. Maybe get together with friends or something. That would be great. I think it's just nice that, everyone's on the same page. But I would suggest, and this is something I'm going to do, sort of having a bit of a cleanse just before Wednesday. So maybe Monday and Tuesday. Just clear out the body a little bit, lay off the alcohol, the sweets, whatever. Not that I'm saying you do. I'm talking to myself here. But I'm going to be doing a very light diet, probably a white diet as well is quite good. All the foods are white, and that doesn't mean a load of sugar and white wine. But I'd seriously just, give yourself some time over the next 2 days to really build up to this event and be ready. So you're in a really good frame of mind, because with full moons, there is always, often some highly strung emotions. They can be stress. Things happen at a full moon, don't they? I mean, my animals go crazy. Other people's, will say, oh, the animals are going crazy. Everyone's running around. Like, they're already doing it. They've already started. There's always that build up. And I think, oh, it's a full moon. And and sometimes tempers can be frayed as well. So if you're in a really good place in yourself, you've had some good sleep, you've eaten well, you're doing what's right for yourself, get some exercise, really give yourself, let go of the burdens for a couple of days if you can. Don't take on anything too much. You will be able to deal with what's coming in a much more effective way. Now, with some signs, it may not be so fun, should I say. You may experience things that are a little bit stressy, around the full moon. But what the thing to remember is this sort of frame, it's like a beginning really up until July. It sort of puts things in motion as well. So sometimes things come up to highlight what we need to change, and if something does happen, then listen to what's been given to you, but at least make sure you're in a really good mindset to actually deal with what's coming. Because if you're really chilled out, then you could just go with the flow a little bit. I feel like things could happen that could cause worry for people, but at the same time, once if you don't act too hastily, you don't sort of rush into things and have panic, and please don't, I'm not sort of putting wishing to put panic into people. I'll explain more in a minute. Is that, if you're more in a sort of flowy mindset, you'll be able to deal with things. It won't be such a big deal. It'll roll off your back. But if you're stressed out anyway, then of course everything's going to just be bigger. And super moon, everything's close. The emotions are close. Everything is cancers particularly might find this very intense experience because you're ruled by the moon. Now, there are going to be some opportunities coming. Some people might suddenly meet the love of their life. Somebody might suddenly get a great big promotion, or get noticed. There could be a great big confrontation happen. But what I do feel is this is an opportunity to bring the positivity in and to purge the old stuff. Okay, really, really purge it now. If you didn't do it last year or at the end of last year, make sure you do it on this full moon if you can. Okay, because it's going to be such an important time to do it. And I really feel if your intentions are right and you're ready, it will just make it, the energy, the intentions behind it so much stronger as well. The power, should I say. Now, I do see some money luck floating around this week, and it's like, who can catch it? Who's seeing it? Who's seeing the opportunity? Who's taking action? There's no point sitting back and making a wish and going, oh, I really want this to happen in my life. Why is it happening? I'm going to sit under the full moon and I'm just going to ask for it to happen, and then do nothing about it. It's important that you act. If you've got a dream, do something to enhance the dream. It doesn't mean putting yourself out, stressing yourself out, adding more burdens for everything. You think, oh my God, I've got to get this out there because otherwise no one's going to see it. It's just a matter of listening to what you're passionate about, listening to what makes you happy, and thinking, I'd like to do this, but what could I do to get the process going? It's only 24 hours in a day, so you can't be expected to be working all night as well. But if you're using the time you have for something productive and useful, whether it's going to, materialize on the full moon or not, maybe it's going to take another 10 years to materialize. But if you set that intention on that night, you're more likely to get where you want to be. And I feel like the power of the universe is going to be behind you. Now, let's not get confused with the new moon where you put the new intentions out, and it's all about new beginnings. This is in some ways the same, because you're shutting a door to bring in the new beginnings. So during this period, it's about, okay, well, I want that. That's the new beginning I want. That's my intention. But in order to do that, I need to get rid of this. So, face the fears. Be ready, be ready. Put yourself in the hands of the universe and say, right, I'm ready. I'm ready to deal with this guilt. I'm ready to deal with this fear. I'm ready to deal with the block that is in front of me, or this challenge. Bring it on. Because I read this not so long ago, and it made perfect sense. Something similar. The universe doesn't throw us. No, sorry, the universe doesn't save us from drowning by throwing us back out to sea afterwards. Without armbands. Or throwing us into the eye of a storm. I mean, it's not here. It doesn't pull you out to just make things worse. It's doing what it's doing to help you get better. I'm not even sure if that made a lot of sense, but anyway, there was method in my madness there. There are some challenges this week. There is absolutely, I'm not going to hide the fact. I feel that, again, I'm seeing for some people there may be arguments about money. There could be a situation that arises. I want to say Aries may come up with something financial here, some issues going on. You could be concerned about, maybe something's happened where you're sort of thinking, oh my God, my resources are dwindling away, or I need to act, I need to do something, I need to make a change, that sort of thing. And at the end of the day, you don't need to be too hasty. Just ride it a little bit. Get yourself grounded, and I feel like certain things will pass. Okay, they won't be as bad as what you may be seeing. Okay, or the worst isn't likely to happen. Cancers, I feel you need to do the right thing where finances are concerned. So don't go out and follow an old bad habit by thinking, oh, whatever, I'm so fed up, or I'm feeling really stressed, so I'm just going to go and spend a load of money on something ridiculous, a toy to make me feel better. That isn't gonna, it could backfire. So I would just, again, go deep, Cancers, connect with the moon, allow it to give you strength rather than to, see the stress as a helpful thing. So going back to Aries, then you might be dealing with some sort of financial crisis. You might need to just manage things a little bit better. I just see, a little bit of anxiety with this, but, you just need to stay calm. All right. You also may be affected by this full moon with your love life. Something might come to the end. Other relationships might cause, like little ructions there that you need to deal with. But again, I just feel that anything that's coming to you is happening to get things to be better. Now, it could be, okay, let's just do an example that you've got a really good friendship, something happens, and then they say something or point something out. Maybe they say the truth about an issue, and it just ruffles your feathers because you're feeling a bit down anyway, or a bit emotional, and you think, why would you say that to me? And, this person said something to you to help you, but they've been really outrightly honest. Maybe they've said, look, actually, you've done this so many times, it's just getting on my nerves now. No, maybe not quite like that. So let's say it. So, how do we say this? Did you know, that you've let me down more than once, but I've had your back because you're my friend. But actually, it has, you've taken me away from something important in my life, or, I'm tired. I can't give you any more. I've wanted to, but, you're not listening. Or saying, you never listen to what I'm saying. You just keep doing your own thing anyway. And to be honest, you going on about it's getting boring now, that sort of thing. It's the same old thing with you, and maybe it wouldn't be that abrupt, but somebody could say something which is really hitting on the truth. And the thing is, we don't like hearing the truth, do we? We want it, but we don't always want to hear it. It's like when it actually is voiced, it's like the thing is, if you know something is annoying someone, or someone's honest with you, then actually it can be really helpful, because in some ways it does, it's up to you whether you want to change. I mean, at the end of the day, you might think, well, actually, this person isn't really my friend because they're not very loyal to me anyway, are they? And actually saying that wasn't particularly helpful. I mean, it could be the other way around, that you realise that whatever somebody's saying something, they haven't been honest the whole time and they've just been lying to you, that sort of thing. Remember, Jupiter is in Scorpio, and it does bring up things, hidden secrets can be revealed, but I don't see anything majorly bad, to be honest. I'm really sorry, guys, if you're feeling a little bit down about this, because I think that, the universe is particularly giving you a push, to help you. And we've got the Venus aspect in all this, which is going to be really affected by this eclipse. So, it's going to help motivate you to make things better, And I think if anybody did say anything, I think it'd be more likely that you'd go, God, you know what, you're right. Rather than fall out with somebody. But I think if you're in a relationship that's not great and it's been really difficult for a long time, and it's actually quite harmful to you, or it's really holding you back, I think that's where things could come unstuck. But actually, again, it'd be for a good thing, wouldn't it? So if anything happens, you go, oh my God, I've got to pay out this bill, or someone, I don't know, leaves the relationship, or decides or just suddenly shows an ugly side of their personality or something, see it as a positive thing. So, and just remain calm. This is so important. So for you, I would seriously, chillax for the next few days and just let it ride, and just remember what I'm saying, that, if something happens on a financial level, maybe this is about management. What are your old patterns? These eclipses tend to bring up these old things. Do you know what I mean? It's like, let's just have a look at what was going on, and let's just, but it's a little bit like a pearl necklace, from the start. Everything starts connecting together from here. So, like beads. I sort of feel like memory beads as well. So it's like things coming up and churning around, and then, and so you can sort them out and you can clip them all back together. So Taurus, there's going to be a lot of focus on your career. You got to watch the burdens. You got to watch taking on too much. You might have a very important decision to make this month, this eclipse. I just feel that you might be wanting to focus on career. You may be wanting to really deal with something major at work, and then something else takes you away from that as well. And that might be something you've got to deal with. Your love life's great. I think that's going to be really good this this eclipse time. Just look after yourself, your well-being, and if something's got to be dealt with, deal with it. I feel this is about getting the balance for you particularly, and probably reigniting the passion of what your goals are, and organising better, getting a better focus in what you're doing. I mean, you could be really focusing hard on a career. You could be really, on this project, and you're forgetting, you're so impassioned that suddenly something gets forgotten at home, and then something happens with a family member, I don't know, someone gets sick, or there's an accident, or again, this is getting quite negative, but I don't know, maybe you forget an anniversary or something, and that causes an argument, and then you realise, it wakes you up to realise that actually you can still have your love and your passion for your career, but at the same time you need to have your eye on the ball at home, because wasn't that fulfilling as well? Wasn't that so more important to you? Which would you rather have? Would you rather have your career, if you've got an option, or your family? What's more important? And I think that's what this is highlighting. But again, because I feel like love is good and everything, I think that whatever happens, or whatever may pull you away, like it could be a celebration. It could just be that you have to put something on hold that you really want to get finished because you've got some big 80th birthday celebration, or you've got to organise a wedding, or you've got to go get married. You never know. But that's a good thing, because it's just like a little reminder. come on, all work and no play makes Jack a very dull boy. Let's get things right. Let's focus on what's important. So this is quite an enlightening time for you. Just again, do your best not to sort of stress yourself out, really, because you'll be able to deal with things a lot easier if you've got a calmer mind. Geminis, this eclipse is going to really affect your communication, aspects of your life, and particularly things like computers and things like that. So make sure you've backed everything up. Okay, check your car, that sort of thing. It's a very sort of Mercury retrograde situation. You might find that a friend might just suddenly come to you with all their issues, or be stressing about, everyone might be stressing around you, and you're just like, oh, this is really stressing me out. They're projecting all this stuff onto you. The best thing is, again, remain calm and don't allow yourself to get too overwhelmed. Now, the other thing that is going to get affected is financial as well. So if you've got any old issues lurking, they could re-arise at this time. But again, do things to make sure that you don't, you're not overspending, you're not sort of feeling erratic. Because, again, when we get stressed and we get overwhelmed by things, we just think, oh, let's just go out, let's just go and do something that's going to make me feel better. And actually, this isn't the best time to do it. Again, think about Mercury retrograde and how that affects you, because I feel this could be quite important, information. If necessary, check out my video on that and what that is, because you are ruled by Mercury, and this seems to be, all about communication for you. So, take the time, if something is it does affect your finances, take some time to do some management, and put some new strategies in place, and make the decision to not go there again, to not make some sort of daft, or hasty purchase, should I say, or some daft investment just so you can get rich quick. Remember, this year is about a steady upward climb. If something is important to you and you're passionate about it, and it's something that you can really see growing, you need to listen to yourself. I sort of also get, if somebody is, you're communicating with other people and they're sort of all projecting their own stresses onto you, that could cause you to feel a little bit unsettled, and you may start doubting your own decisions. And you've got to remember that, you know what you need, what makes you happy, hopefully. So, this is a time to communicate with yourself and gain some more understanding by what's coming at you as well, rather than just thinking, why isn't this just stop? I don't need this. I can sort of see, younger people sort of having sort of hissy fits and being all over the place around you. And, you might just think, I just want a nice calm night in front of the TV, a nice box of chocolates, and, and there we go, and everyone's going, oh my God, I've done this, and this is happening, and that can just be enough, can't it? You don't need to be stressed yourself. So Cancers, okay, so you are going to be really, really affected, because this is your, the moon is your ruling planet. How much more could you get? You've got this great big fat super moon coming in, big eclipse. Okay, this is a time to really redefine yourself. Deal with those, really connect with your inner emotions, and again, remain calm. For you as well, finances are important. You need to be careful with that. Just, be aware of any little errors. If you're doing accounts, I know it's probably a bit early in the year for that, or a bit late. Some of you may be still doing them. But really check for errors there, because it could cost you. Again, if you're signing a contract or you've sent an invoice to someone, check what you're wording, because once you've signed it and it's all out, it's not easy to take it back or say, oh, actually, that was a mistake. I missed off the extra naught, and then you've sort of lost out. So be aware of that. I just feel like reading and looking closely at things is going to be important for you. But, relax as much as you can. This is so important during this time for you to just do what is easy, okay? And that is a big, big message. Don't take on anything else that you don't need. Stay away from stressful people and just plan. And I would say plan to have a good few days, have a relaxing week, just prioritizing what you've got to do and let the rest take care of itself. Okay. And do your best not to allow your mind to just start going and overthinking everything, because that's just going to make things worse. Okay. So relax time for you this next few days. Okay. Very, very important. So when you start going, or getting really intense or emotional, you just find a way to meditate. Find a way that, even if it's cooking or just walking, getting some fresh air, sometimes that helps. But meditation is great, because you could really do some self-reflection this few days and really learn so much about what you need to change. Again, this is a great time to start implementing things and getting some important things rolling. So Leo, this is going to be a massive change for you, because this is about redefining your own public image, which is going to, start now up until July time. And you need to just go with this change, because it may be very unsettling. I mean, this full moon is in Leo for you. But you need to listen to the needs of your body. Okay, listen, eat well, rest, do whatever it takes to help your well-being, because this is just the start. And you may feel very emotional. You may feel that you're questioning who you believe in, what was right. Is it ever going to happen? That sort of thing. And for some of you, it might be like, oh, it's all blind panic. You know what the mind's like when it starts taking over, and it's really important that you just, again, go with this flow of it and just know this is the beginning. Know that it is going to happen. Things are going ahead the way that they should, and this is just, this is the start for you to make those changes and to address the fears as well, and to just allow things to purge and release. And it's almost like, for you, I feel like it's almost like a draining, going out and you're going, and it just feels like, oh my goodness, I'm leaving, because you're rebirthing into something brand new, and this is about how you put yourself out there publicly. This is about your inner side. This is like your outer expression. So it's like bringing in a whole new person, so give it time. Just don't push yourself too hard, and if you decide that something isn't right for you, you don't believe in something anymore, that's okay as well. Just let go of it. It's good to change. It's just like, maybe it's had its time. It's time to move on. Virgo just seems to be having the best time of everybody, so I'm sure you're going to be really pleased with this. You don't even need to be affected by this particularly. I just get that you just need to chill, just go with it. You'll probably handle everything really well this eclipse. There may be things that get affected, people outside of you, but it's important for you to use this time to heal things, to work through issues yourself, and just ride the waves, really. I mean, I just think some wonderful things could happen during this time for you. If something's going to end, it's going to end. And you'll be able to heal things between other people that maybe weren't there before. I just sense this is going to be a really positive month for you. Libra, really, friendship's going to be more affected than anything. But it's more about other people having issues rather than you having issues with other people, if that makes sense. So just take some time and listen, be there as a friend, do what you do, and just support as much as you can. You just might find that everybody's having a crisis around you. The thing that you could be affected by the most are just malfunctioning computers, phones, that sort of thing. And you may need to spend a bit of money changing those over, but otherwise nothing's really going to be affected financially or in work. I think this is just going to be a time where you're sort of on the outside looking in, and things could suddenly arise where you have to be there to be the supporting arm. Scorpio, so this is a great time for career change. You could get a promotion suddenly, everything's on the rise. This is like a massive time for you, being Jupiter being in Scorpio as well. This is a lucky time. But again, remember that actions do help. It's not about jumping in, it's not about making massive changes necessarily, but you could launch something, you could put something out there. If you want to be noticed, for instance, on YouTube, right, with a video, you need to make the video first and put it on YouTube. You know, don't just say, oh, I'm going to be on YouTube and just think about it. You know, you want to write a best-selling novel, you need to start writing it, or maybe, you know, you want to connect or do some research on it before you start, or just, you know, start writing an outline of what you're going to do. You know, start putting something into gear. You might change something quite major in your life, you know, in the way you feel spiritually. Some of your beliefs might change. That's okay as well. Just go with it, because it's important that, again, you're going with these changes and allowing the doors to open up for you, because I feel that this is, you know, going to be a very lucky period for you. Sagittarius, this isn't a great time to go traveling. Okay, so I would just cut out anything if you can. Obviously, if you're already going somewhere, there isn't much I can do about it, but I just feel that endings are going to be so important at this time as well. The traveling issue, you know, there may be just extra costs involved. You know, you might find that something takes longer than usual. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, though. You know, if you're meant to experience something, there isn't any way you can get out of it. You know, maybe you've got to travel somewhere for a job, or, you know, it's just the way it is and there's no way you can change it. You've got to be somewhere, then go with it, because whatever happens along the way is serving to help you. You know, maybe there is a delay and you get stuck at junction 1 and you end up talking to a stranger who becomes your next spiritual teacher. Okay, so to start with, you're really wound up about it and you're thinking, oh my God, and, you know, it's going to take forever, it's going to cost me loads because now I'm going to miss my flight connecting, you know. But this person that you meet and you talk to gives you so much wisdom that it just changes your whole outlook. And then maybe you just get up and decide not to go away after all, you know, because you needed that to understand what was going on or give you new direction. So take this as, you know, like I say, sometimes there's things we aren't able to avoid, and this is the same for all the signs. You know, there's a real strong endings feeling here, where something might just come to an end. Something you believe in, doors may start shutting, you may change a job, you know, lots of things could change, but I feel like a real ending in order to have a beginning. So this is major closure for you guys. So again, go with those, go with what comes in and address it, and go deeper and ask, you know, well, why has this happened? Okay, what can come from it? What new things can I get from it? Because whenever something leaves, there's a space for something new. Capricorns, keep your mind open and remain calm. There could be a lot affected in relationship wise during this time. Okay, so things could suddenly change. You know, maybe you decide to end a marriage, maybe something happens, something's revealed. If you are playing around or you want to take a risk, I would seriously not do it during this period, because it is likely to come out. Okay, you know, don't go and overindulge in, you know, sex, drugs and rock and roll sort of thing. Just, you know, stay away from anything like that. I would just find a real safe place to be during this time, and just, if it seems boring, let it be boring, because it will be a lot better for you. Okay, you don't want to take any risks during this period. You know, just find a place to stay calm and just deal with what is brought in. You may find you've got to deal with something, a financial issue with a partner. Maybe that will come out, that sort of thing, which could cause a little bit of stress. Remember, this is sort of causing stress in different ways. You know, stress can be good, it can be stressful, right? But any way you can get something positive out of it, because if you're overstressed, right, you realise when something's really stressing you out, you can make a change. Okay, this is how I see it. And then there's the really good stress, which is actually really good, you know, because it sort of pumps the body. So any way you look at it, stress can be a good thing. Okay, it can turn out a positive thing, because it can be a way of learning, or it can be a way of motivating. So Aquarius, again, you need to, you know, really take some time to look after yourself. You know, you may need to change your diet. You need to look at your sleep patterns, find, you know, just pay more attention to your health situations. You shouldn't be making any hasty decisions, but you don't want to be delaying either. So I feel this is really about balance for you and keeping things in check, because you're going to feel quite emotional. You might find a lot of stuff that's been suppressed is going to come out. You know, there could be this, you know, sudden outbursts. But I feel it could actually help things. When I describe it like that pot over boiling, there's only so much you can suppress when you need to sort of let go of it. And sometimes, often full moons, that's when it comes out. Someone could just say something and boof, out it comes. Now, this can heal a relationship or it can break one. Okay, so either way, if it's going to break it, then at the end of the day, it wasn't strong enough. It wasn't, if you're releasing who you are, and somebody else isn't able to cope with that or doesn't like the truth about you, then really, are they good for you in your life? But then you may find that doing that actually makes the relationship so much stronger, because you feel more at ease, you're both more relaxed, and suddenly there's nothing hidden. All those skeletons are out the closet, which often is important. Jobs may be affected as well, this lunar eclipse, so watch out for some of those changes. Pisces, again, really important to look after your health and, think about changing your diet, your workout routine, and, watching your sleep patterns as well. Seems to be everybody could be affected. I mean, I know myself that, and I know a lot of people, friends of mine, really have issues sleeping around the full moon. You can end up, so it's important that you do, you're not taking on too much, or you're not pushing yourself too hard either. Allow yourself to sort of go with this flow. Finance is going to be good for you, but somebody else around you, someone younger than you or a younger member of the family, might be having issues, and you may want to intervene. There's definite work changes on the front. You might find somebody, management's changed, or that you just suddenly want to change your job again. This is a good time to get things going, purge out the old. Maybe you're pushed to change your job. It's all for the better though, really. And looking back at all these signs and everything that I've said, there is so much good to come from this, and that's what we have to focus on. The energies that are coming in to make things more positive in our lives and allow us to sort of start, to really make those changes we need. So take control of that growth, decide to transform, decide to grow, and start, connect with what's important, and find that energy balance in you. Like I say, it's all so much for everybody. It's been about your well-being and making sure you rest and making sure you focus on the positives and remaining calm. So I expect everybody in the next few days to have a complete holiday. Maybe that's what we should do. We should just have a public holiday, an international, like Christmas Day on a full moon or around that period. We should all have a few days off. I might just put that out there. You never know. They might do that. But there's definite endings here. And I do feel that, there's something new brewing and something exciting coming in for all of us, and we need to grab hold of that and just say, yeah, I'm ready, bring it on. It gets to a point that these old patterns, all these continually repeating, going round and round and round, not only gets boring, but you just start getting dizzy. It starts confusing things even more, because once you're on that roundabout of a pattern, you forget, everything goes blurry, and then you don't even know you're doing it, and that's the whole thing. So it's time to ask the universe to show us once and for all in some ways, or do whatever it takes to make that shift and be ready for it. And if you remain calm, it's a little bit like facing a phobia, really. They're unexplained. We don't understand what they are. That's why they're so frightening. We don't have anything concrete to go on. Yes, you could say, okay, I'm afraid of spiders because when I was a baby at 3 months old, one walked over my head. But how would you know that unless someone told you when you were 3 months old? Because you would have forgotten that. So are you just associating that fear of spiders because someone told you? Or is there something more about that? Or are you just saying to yourself, I've got to be afraid, so I'm always going to be afraid? I know there's a lot more to it, so I'm not belittling this, because I deal with phobias and people's fears all the time. That's my job, and I do go back into past lives and can unravel it. But what I'm saying is that when we have something that's unexplained, it's much more frightening than when we we have something to justify it. And like the full moon, you know, if we didn't see the full moon or know about the full moon, we weren't told about the full moon, but it was actually happening and no one actually understood it, we'd probably all just be running around like headless chickens all over the place, and we couldn't go, oh, it's a full moon. You know, we wouldn't be able to get the guidance because nobody would get what that was all about. We wouldn't understand the tides of the water, you know, and how that's affected. Nothing would be explained. And so we would be really foggy. So it's important to get the facts. It's important to understand, to have some understanding, and then we can deal with it. You know, like otherwise we're running around going, I'm afraid of heights. Wah! But I'm never going to go there because I'm just afraid. Why? Don't know. You know, it's like, well, let's find out. And I think once you do, you'll realise that it really isn't actually as frightening as you thought. So I enjoy this time. Like I said, have a cleanse if you can for a few days. I feel like the effects of this are going to keep going all week. I think you're going to get it before and you're going to get it afterwards. And by the end of the week, a lot is going to have changed. And, you know, when people say to me when I'm doing readings, they go, I can't see that happening. But I can't. Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? I mean, that's why you get a reading, to see what's coming. But how these things happen, how they come about, sometimes we're not meant to know. Maybe we're not meant to have all the answers straight away because we're meant to take the journey to get the answers. That's the whole point. We've got to get on the path so we can do some more self-discovery, and that's how you gain them in the end. But you can be sure that something will be put in place to help you somewhere along the line. If that's what you're meant to do, that's what's going to happen. So, you know, cleanse, meditate, relax, chill. Make sure everything's clear. You know, don't get wound up because something breaks. You know, maybe your phone breaks. You think, oh my God, I've lost all my contacts. Maybe it's meant to break because you need to take time out. Okay, do your best to do a positive and negative list, and, you know, write down each day all the great things so you can keep your mind on that positive energy. Now, coming just before I go, again, if you'd like some more personal insight, there is an offer of the Blue Moon reading to help look more insight at what this full moon will bring to you, but on a personal level. And also, I've been offering out a discount special offer for my 6-step program. That is coming to an end on the full moon, at the end of the full moon, on the 31st. If you haven't already signed up, if you would still like to get involved for as little as £150, you would need to make a deposit. You would need to go ahead with that and confirm that with me before the 31st. I've only got a couple of spaces anyway. So if you're lucky enough to get onto that, that would be great. The offer is in place so that I can get some feedback from yourselves, which will be going into a documentary style vlog so I can give more understanding and insight to those who may be interested. If you would prefer not to be filmed, that's fine. You can just do some audio recording. It doesn't have to be an awful lot either. It's just your feelings and thoughts, and everything would be vetted anyway before it went out, so you would have absolute control over that. If you thought no, I'm afraid of that, that's, you know, the whole point is to deal with these fears. So by the end of it, you'll be great. So if you are interested in that, if you have spoken to me, if you are still thinking about it, the offer will close on the 31st of January. That's Wednesday, on the full moon. At the end of that day, let's say 12 midnight UK time, the offer will be closed. And from then on, if you would like to take part in it, it's going to be it would be £500 to take part. So it's a massive discount. It's a massive opportunity if you would like to reinvent your life. Yes, it's dealing with fears. Yes, it's going backwards to come forwards. Yes, it's stripping that old and bringing in the new. And it is a process, but it is worthwhile, and you can achieve so much. So if you want to change, this is a perfect opportunity. Do get in touch with me as soon as possible. Like I said, it will be finished on the 31st of January. So anyway, guys, have a great week, and speak to you all soon, and do remember to listen to your monthlies and get in touch with me via the website if you would like a private reading. Take good care of yourselves. Bye for now.